We're a construction company. We do interior finishes, steel stud, drywall, EIFS, flooring, insulation, and many other things. We do residential work, commercial projects. We work throughout the province of New Brunswick. We also go to PEI in Nova Scotia. We literally build communities. This building, for an example, is one of our jobs. It's not shown in the pictures, but we employ about 250 people, so we'd be not in that 98%, we'd be in that 2% slide. Mostly we have lather, aka framers, drywallers, crack fillers. That's the skill set that we sell. We have highly skilled people who have perfected their craft with on-the-job training. It's hard to, when you talk about essential skills or literacy, to tell a person that's been doing a certain thing for the last 20 years that he's incompetent. I walk a fine line when I talk about literacy. I usually don't use that word in my organization because people don't like it. And there's reasons behind that. At Fundy, we are eager to listen, to discover, to learn, and teach. One of our core values is learning. When you establish that culture in an organization, it's evolution, it's growth. That little fish that jumps in that bigger bowl, I see ourselves as little fish jumping into an ocean. It's endless, the opportunities that you have when you can have a learning culture in any organization. We try to change the mindset of our industry. That's a tough thing to do, again, when you're outside of the norm and trying to make a difference. I think training equals knowledge. I think knowledge equals opportunities. And I think opportunities create the enabling of people to be successful. Einstein said that education was knowledge, and it could take you from point A to point B. He also said that imagination could take you anywhere. Essential skills and literacy for my people, they were afraid of it because they thought that they were not worthy. It's an industry that does not invest a lot of money in training, and I would encourage every company in any sector to believe in their people, to invest in their people. The results are tenfold. We are having great successes in our organization. And it's not, the successes are not measured by money. The successes are measured with individuals, human beings. Our society has taught us to measure certain things in different ways. That's not always practical. Anyway, I'm going to continue. At Fundy in 2008, I created a school. I called it the School of Excellence. When I first introduced that to my employees, they told me I was crazy. You gotta be out of your mind, Mario, if you think I'm gonna go back to school and learn anything. Don't forget, most of these guys didn't want to go to school. Educational system are for a certain percentage of people that fit in that box, and my employees are all circles. They did not fit in that box. So we had to be, how can I say it, different. We had to have a different approach. What we did for the school is I integrated a lot of meetings in our organization to get the people involved. We told them that they could write their own training, technically. We wanted them engaged, we wanted them personally involved in their development for their future. So we customized training that learners value. The student became the teacher. That was one of our first biggest successes in our organization. We didn't tell them, they told us. We had a positive learning environment. It had to be positive because that attitude of, wanting to learn is everything. We measure education ABC 1, 2, 3. I measure it in a different way. I measure it in those personal skill set. And that's a hard thing to quantify. It's a hard thing to measure. But the individual is more important. We set up training in-house during work hours. And I paid for it. Paid every hour, paid everything for them to be successful. And we worked in small groups. With essential skills, with the West program, we put about 2,400 hours in that program. And I gotta tell you, it was very, very successful. We did all kinds of different training too. We had safety, a lot of safety documentation. All the technology, the laws, everything is changing all the time. And we had a hard time getting documentation, writing things. No, it's not important, we're doing our job, this is how we do it, never mind. Through our training and thinking and talking and, working with the guys, there's a lot of reading, a lot of writing, document use, numeracy, computer use, thinking, oral communication, working with others, continuous learning, essential skills. Most companies, most organizations will take their best employee, promote, because they got degrees, and put them in a situation that they can't handle. Doesn't make them smarter, doesn't make them not smarter or educated or not educated. It makes them that they didn't have an opportunity to have the essential skills to do the task that they were supposed to do. And most companies, small companies, that's what we do. We take our best employee and promote him. Now imagine I have my best framer, he can frame 200 feet a day, every day, 5 days a week. I promote him as a supervisor, but he can't look anybody in the eye. And he can't say hi to anybody. Anybody see a problem with that? That's what we do. When we talk about essential skills, we talk about literacy. Again, I go back to schools. It's not our fault. We were trained that way. We have to look at changing how we approach our educational systems. I would start there. We have to look at what it means or how do we measure successes. I see a lot of numbers. What does that mean? I look at people in my organization. You have to look at the individual. You have to look at the human being. Our first picture was we have a yearly picnic now, party, staff party. It's a family thing. And the most important thing we do there, we celebrate our successes. And the successes are the individuals that took their themselves, elevated their self-esteem, their fear. They put everything aside, and they are fearful. Again, if you've been doing a certain task for 20 years and somebody walks in and tells you you can't do it, or that's not how we do it, that's a hard thing to change in any organization, at any level. The key for us to be successful was to have a continuous learning culture, because we could enable guys to be successful. We did not measure them on their grades. We did not fail them or pass them on by their or numbers. We wrote tests, we wrote different stuff. We encouraged the heart, and we set that positive motion to move it forward. Because I'm in the construction industry, and believe it or not, as a drywaller, I don't exist. We don't. We're not a trade. We're not recognized. Now that would be hard to sell an individual a future. Think about it. We don't exist. We don't have any careers. Who are we? That's far-fetched. But my point here is elevating our standards, working for ourselves, putting esteem into the individual, self-esteem into the individual, elevating those standards for them. They change their industry. We have guys that are going to college today. 4 years they told me to go pound sand. I got a 65-year-old on a laptop that the only thing he tells me now is email me this and email me that. And 4 years ago he told me something else that I can't repeat. So essential skills, education is priceless. For our industry, for Canada, for the whole world, it is very important to embed that in all of our cultures, in our organizations, government, everybody. Our successes, well, our learning culture. We've been doing training for 4 years now. I have not given one hard training into like framing or drywall. Not yet. I haven't trained anybody on how to frame nor drywall. They don't want to know about that. They want to learn how to talk, communicate, write, so they can manage everybody else below. Their self-esteem has gone through the roof. Now they're lining up and telling me what they want. What a concept. We now have certified ladders and EFIS mechanics. There are organizations that will validate our existence, the Red Seal, Construction Council, and different, but it's not promoted. If you go to, what do you call it when you go to school, no, I'm not apprentice, but there's a day that it's for career day. There's not a lot of booths for construction because we don't validate it. Show of hands, anybody told your kids that they could have a wonderful, beautiful career in construction? Five people. I got about 5%. We got to be careful what we say to our next generation, because there are some breach between the different generations. We push education like it's the best thing out there. Yes, education is knowledge. Yes, education will give you opportunities. But let's make sure we give the right tools to our kids, to our next generation. And our success is the professionalism. In my organization just went through the roof. They want to be certified. They're lining up to take the course to college. This is not mandatory. I lead by example. I took the first test. I wanted my certification. I believe organizations, the hardest thing for having a learning culture is always the owner, for financial reasons. But it's the right thing to do. And when people imagine what you can do, it surpasses everything. I mean, my profit, bottom line, has jumped 100%. I'm not going to tell you how much. Just 100%. Small number. I'm not the 32 billion, but safety. 4 or 5 years ago, again, culture, 25, 30 years, people accepting to be unsafe. My biggest hurdle was telling them that they were worthwhile saving. Imagine. Because our society, our industry accepted status quo, accepted what it was. I disagree. I don't have the same issues that I had 4 years ago. We are core certified, safety first. I want all my employees to come back to work tomorrow. I want them to go home at night to their families. I want them to be part of our communities. When you create that culture, that existence, that purpose, when you validate the human being in front of you, that little fish that jumped in that small bowl would be a bigger fish, and a bigger fish in a big ocean. You just have to imagine it. When you crunch numbers in our industry, I can't afford to invest into my people. That's what they tell me. I refuse to believe that, because that would be not believing in myself. Imagine that all our employees could be better off. And again, that you're in nursing, medical, teaching, engineering, doesn't matter. Those essential skills are the same. Sense of purpose, and validating who we are. I was asked to talk here this morning. I thought there was going to be 10, 12 people. Rick, you little bugger. Oh, that's right, it's filming me, I gotta move. That's my presentation, and thank you very much for your time.